Hello, witches. I am High Priestess Austin Phoenix. Thank you for joining me today for this live pop-up broadcast on the only thing that I hate about witches. Now, before you swipe off this broadcast, you have to hear me out because this affects more witches than you have ever maybe given a thought to. This is the only thing that I hate about witches. You might say, how can you hate anything about witches? Aren't you a witch? Yeah, I am a witch. I'm actually the real thing. But the only thing that I hate about witches is the fact that too many witches, and I do mean thousands of witches, let people take advantage of their spiritual gifts. Witches are powerful. Witches are all powerful. When a witch is devoted to any god or goddess, their presence in the earth increases, their power increases, and people who are not witches are drawn to that witch. So they may approach that witch and say, maybe just one time, can you do this for me? Can you do that for me? And the witch may happily comply and help. But then that person keeps going back to that witch looking for a handout, but have no intention to compensate that witch. That person is just taking advantage of the witch, and the witch lets it go on because they have it wrongly in their mind that they are supposed to help everybody that comes to them. No, witches are not obligated to help anybody. Witches are not obligated to help anybody, not the disabled, not the elderly, and not children. Nobody gets a pass. Nobody gets a pass. You have to earn the help of us. You have to earn the help of a witch. It's not just given to you because that witch is all powerful. And some witches, too many witches, feel bad if they don't use their spiritual gifts to help people, to help the needy. Not everybody is needy. Some people are just looking for a handout. Some people are just looking to take advantage of the witch because they are too damn lazy to do for themselves. And because that person knows that witches are all powerful, they turn that witch into a genie, just always asking for stuff. I hate when witches give in to being pressurized to use their gifts to help someone or a group of people who would not give two shits about them if they were not witches. And that's the truth. If you were not a witch, would anybody check up on you? No. But because you are a witch, you draw people, you attract people to you. And many times, many times, the people that you attract are just looking to take advantage of your spiritual gifts. I said this before. No is a protection spell. Saying no with no explanation as to why you said no is a super powerful protection spell. Also, no is a complete sentence. No means no. People are not stupid, okay? People are not stupid. People may play stupid to make you have sympathy or pity for them, or to feel bad for them, or to try to relate to them, but people know what they're doing. And many people come to witches and they stupidly believe that witches are obligated to follow the Wiccan Rede, help whenever the witch is needed. That's not true. That is not true. The witch is not obligated to help when he or she is needed. That decision still lies with the witch. The decision to help still lies with the witch. It's still the choice of the witch to help someone or to not help someone. The only thing I hate about witches is that they let people take advantage of their spiritual gift. That has to stop. You are not a genie. You are not somebody's personal prophet or personal psychic or personal guide. You're not. You can say no. You can say, no, fuck you. Get out of my face. Leave me alone. You can say all of this. All of this, what I've just said, still means no. Still means no. When I first became a witch, people tried to take advantage of my spiritual gifts. And because I have such a strong personality, they immediately back off. When you say no or any other way of saying no, you have to stand firm. You have to stand strong. So they get the message. I said no. Don't come back to me again asking me the same shit. Because then you're going to piss me off. That's the truth. That's the truth. So not many people seek me out for help that I know, meaning family and friends, because I know they are just trying to take advantage of my spiritual gifts. And it's not going down like that. You're not going to play. You're not going to play me. You can't play me. I already know what you're doing before it's out in the open. Witches, not just me, but witches in general already know what you're doing, already know what you're plotting before it's out in the open. Witches already know what you're going to ask them before you ask them. They're just giving you a chance to not interrupt you in the false hope that you will tell the truth, even though the witch knows you're telling a flat out lie on why you need their help. No, don't do that. Don't let the person continue to talk and you know they are lying. Don't let the person continue to talk when you know they're lying. When you know the real reason why they want your help. And I'm not just talking about not saying thank you to the witch. I'm not just talking about not compensating that witch or praising or showing gratitude or showing appreciation for that witch. I'm talking about just straight up taking advantage of that witch's spiritual gifts, because that witch is spiritually gifted and you are not spiritually gifted. Not everybody can do what witches do. Not everybody can do what witches can do. Many witches are formed in their mother's womb. Many witches are born witches. Even though, let me say this, there is no difference from a witch being born a witch and somebody becoming a witch. There's no difference between the two. But if somebody finds out that you are born a witch, then they really pile up on you and they really turn you into a genie. This is the only thing I hate about witches, is that too many witches are allowing people to take advantage of their spiritual gifts. They're not saying no enough. I don't care how much money the person is offering you, or clothes, cars, houses, whatever they're offering you. If you don't want to do that spell, ritual, hex, or curse, then you don't have to do it. It's always the choice of the witch. It is always the choice of the witch. Nobody makes decisions for the witch. Nobody makes decisions for the witch. Nobody. Nobody.
Do a lot of footwork.
This type of ice, like,
nobody does. It's not going to go down like that. It's not going to go down like that. Because eventually, remember, witches are human. So eventually, that witch is going to snap on your ass. Pop on your ass. Oh, yes, I said it. pop on your ass, snap on your ass, and tell you where you can go and how to get there and how you can live there and how you can transfer your family and friends there too. Because every witch has a breaking point. Every witch has a breaking point, and you never want a witch to reach a breaking point. You never want a witch to reach a breaking point, because that's when all hell is going to break loose, because that witch has been pushed over the edge. That witch has been pushed over the edge. And she or he will take you down with them. That witch is not going to go over the cliff by him or herself. They're going to take you down too. They're going to take you down too. This is the only thing I hate about witches. Learn to say no. Learn to block people on social media. Learn to delete message threads. Learn to not communicate. Learn to ignore. Because nobody is going to take advantage of a witch. Nobody is going to take advantage of a witch's spiritual gifts. It's not going to happen. Because a witch, by nature, by his or her own nature, already knows the present, the future, and the past. By nature, by their very nature, witches already know the present, the past, and the future. We already know. We may not say anything, but we know. We are always clued in. We are always connected to our chosen deity. Like for me, I'm always connected to my chosen deity, the Queen of Witches, Hecate. She always lets me know what's really good, what's really up, what's real, what's fake, what's a lie, and what's the truth. Always. And witches have got to have a spine, have a backbone, and not allow themselves to be mistreated just because they are a witch. This is the only thing I hate about witches, and this is too many witches are allowing people to take advantage of their spiritual gifts, and that must stop. That it is hurting our community. It is hurting our community of witches by having witches do spells, rituals, hexes, and curses that they don't really want to do. That has to stop. That must stop. Nobody is going to take advantage of a witch. Nobody is going to take advantage of a witch. Nobody. You can play that game with somebody else. You can play that game with somebody who's stupid. But witches are not in the category of being stupid. Witches already know what's up. Witches already know what's up. We already know. We may not say anything. We may let you continue to think that we are blind, ignorant, out of the loop, but we know. And when we see it out in the open, it does not come as a surprise to us, because our chosen deity, God or goddess, already told us what you were planning and plotting, and that plot has been overturned and sent back to you 3 times worse. The only thing I hate about witches is that too many witches are allowing people to take advantage of their spiritual gifts, and that must stop, because it is hurting our community. A witch being taken advantage of is hurting our community of witches. It's hurting us. And witches are not going to be hurt. Witches are not going to be taken advantage of, mistreated, or abused for the sake of what they call the greater good. I don't give a fuck about that shit. Okay? A lot of people think that witches should use their powers for the greater good. Witches don't care about the greater good. They care about the now. Witches care about the now. What's happening now? Like I've just said, witches are privy, knowledgeable of the past, the present, and the future. We just know. We don't know. Some witches don't know how they know things from the past, things from the present or the future. We just know. And we know we're not wrong. We know we're not crazy. We just know. And we know that what we see in our dreams, visions, is going to come to a pass. And there's nothing we can do to stop it. There's nothing we can do to stop it. But we can stop letting people treat us like genies. We can stop that by simply saying no. Don't fall for that, I don't know what you call it. I suppose you call it peer pressure. Just being pressured. Or in some rare occasions, being bullied, being threatened. Because many witches are threatened and bullied if they don't do a spell that somebody wants them to do. And you're not going to bully or threaten a witch, especially me. Imagine me being threatened or bullied. You must not like life anymore if you do that to me in particular. So I don't let people take advantage of my spiritual gifts. And this is the one thing, the only thing I hate about witches is that they let people take advantage of their spiritual gifts. So thank you, witches, for joining me for this very important pop-up broadcast. Do share this broadcast if you have other social media platforms so that I can reach more witches to hear this message, to take in this message, to apply this message, to reach more witches, to make sure that they are not being taken advantage of, that witches are not being mistreated, and more importantly, that witches are not being taken advantage of for their spiritual gifts. When you share my broadcast on other social media platforms, I reach other witches that needs the messages that I have to give out so they can live a more magically blessed life and have real significant and permanently positive change through witchcraft. So with that being said, thank you again for joining me, and now I'll release you into the rest of your day. Bye everyone.